Good morning, YouTube. This is me on the Radio page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, this is going to be a great week for bodybuilding, and there's going to be two shows this weekend. As you know, tomorrow is going to be Linda Murray Norfolk Pro, and it's great that Linda Murray. Last year we didn't have the show because of the virus to shut things down, but also. The next day after that, Sunday, because the time difference, I think it's going to be like I think the same time as the New York Pro is going to be happening. There's going to be another show, which is the Big Evolution Pro, which is also called the Portugal Pro. Now, they're supposed to have it last year, but because what happened with the pandemic, they couldn't have the show. And it's in Portugal, And this is a show with mostly women from Europe. And see, the thing is, we all know that with the pandemic going on, the virus is running rapid and worse in parts of Europe, that a lot of European competitors can't come here and compete as much as they can. Now, they can do a quarantine, but it's expensive, it's long, and it's just, in some minds, it's not worth their time. But like I said, once the travel restrictions are lifted, and a lot of these ladies who want to come over here, come compete, some competitors are going to drown. There are going to be some people who are going to be drowning, especially you have people from Canada, people from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, people from the South Pacific, people from England and Germany, just coming in, who want to compete because once those travel restrictions are lifted, you don't have to do a quarantine. It's just going to be, some competitors got to step the game. These European bodybuilders they come with their cannons blowing. So anyway, this is the list for women's bodybuilding. And there's only 7 competitors. As you know, I was surprised that some women didn't want to do shows. Like, I'm thinking something like Lisa Cross, Jay Fuchs, Irene Anderson. But, I think Irene's already officially going to be in the Olympia. A couple others that I'm thinking of right now that, could have done this show. But I think they might decide to do the Muscle Fest, or they may try to do a quarantine and come here and do some shows in America. That's a possibility. But these names, like some of these names, I'm going to be kind of careful because, I am American. And like most Americans, we're not so good with some foreign names, but others we might know. Now, we have Chris Coy. Chris, she is from Spain, but she lives here in the United States. She lives in Miami. Now, Chris was originally a physique competitor. She switched a while back. She competed at the Europa show, and also I think she done the Muscle Fest too, I believe. And then also we have here is Alina Havani, and Alina is from the Czech Republic. And she also competed at the Europa show. She took second place with Margita Zamanova taking first. That was double Czech. And, right here we have one is Nitya Homosala, I'm going to call her Nidia. She's from Paraguay, and that's in around about South, I think it's Central or South America. I'm not so good in how these countries work. And she's one of the few non-Europeans to complete the show. So she must have, they say some countries that might have a certain quarantine policy where they can able to come to Europe and compete. I think that's a possibility why she's here. And an opportunity for her to maybe get a shot at the Olympia. Also, we have Anastasia Leonova from Russia. I've seen her. AJ did an interview with her and her husband, another Russian lady. She's amazing. I mean, she's very attractive, great muscle. I think she's also a physique competitor. I think she also did a figure. And I think she has a good chance. One here we have one is Vanessa. I'm not saying they'll say Vanessa. She's from Spain. And I don't know much about her. Try to get loose shit on her. Vera Mikolovk, another Czech Republic, citizen. Remember last time she competed was back 2019 at the Toronto Pro. And familiar face, another familiar face, Margita Zamanova. As you know, Margita placed second at the Puerto Rico Pro almost about 3 weeks ago. So like I said, and Chris, she's a very attractive woman, I believe. There's some great female bodybuilders come from Spain, such as her, Virginia Sanchez. I mean, there's a good number of women from, especially Spain's in the Mediterranean. And it's just that there's just a, natural beauties of women from the Mediterranean. I mean, Italian women, Spanish women, Portuguese. I mean, the skin's more, the complexion is more tan because, depending where you are. If you're from the northern part of Spain, you're going to be a little blonde, a little more blonde because you're closer to parts of Europe, more close to Europe, like around about, I think, Germany and stuff like that, But when you're closer to the Mediterranean, you're going to be a little more dark complected, olive skin. And Chris, she has a look to her. She got a little size on her now. It looked like she got a little more size on her because she was a physique competitor. And she didn't do too good in the last couple of shows. But I think this is a show that might be her ticket to the Olympia. Now, Alina, which is like, she spells hers with an E instead of I. She's been around quite some time. I think she competed also in physique, but she also done bodybuilding. And she has impressive physique to her. I mean, this is just one of these things. I think I should have dealt with my bombshells video, and I think she's possible. I think it's gonna be depending on how the show works out. There might be a battle for first and second place with her in the middle of it. So there's a good chance of it. And so I said before, she also took second place at the Europa show. And I think if she has enough points, the thing is she has to come over here and compete and do some more shows to get enough points that she probably can make it to the Olympia if she can. Now here we have Nidia. So her name is Nid. Nidia, she's from Paraguay. And she looks pretty impressive. I don't know how she's going to place. It's all depending, and, she has a great physique. I mean, I think she's a pure female bodybuilder. I don't think she ever done anything but that. And I really love my pure female bodybuilders. The ones that didn't maybe they might have done one thing like maybe like this, but some just straight starting the bodybuilding. I would like to know more about her. I know I've seen pictures of her. She mostly did a lot of competitions around South America. But now she's getting an opportunity to compete in Europe. With this show, maybe we might see her do some more shows in America once the pandemic is lifted. Here we have Anastasia, and I'm telling you, oh my God, like her face, she has that very, she has a lovely face. And look at her arms. Oh my God, she's just buff. And I'm seeing her I think there's a good chance that the first place might be a fight between her and Chris. I believe it. Maybe her and, I think there's going to be a battle. I think she's an attractive young woman and she's from Russia. And there's a growing number of Russian bodybuilders coming in, like Natalia Kozanova, the other Natalia. There's Anastasia Kovalov. I mean, there's a growing, also Victoria. I mean, a growing concession of female bodybuilders from Russia. They bring in, they're mass monsters. They're bringing in the size. She's bringing, even though she's a bit smaller on the small side, she has some size on her. Now here we have what's her name, Vanessa, and she looks like, I think she did physique by the looks of her. She probably did a figure. And she's from Spain. And, like I said, there's some great female bodybuilders that come from Spain. Like I said, I don't know much about her. I was trying to do some research on her. I couldn't find a lot on social media. I don't think she even has social media. She might have something through Spain or something like that. But, she is a little bit on the small side. She might do pretty good. I think she should do physique. She should have done physique. But if she comes in with a certain package, a certain look, just depending on how she's going to place. There's only 7 competitors for this show. Now here we have Vera, and Vera has been out of the game for quite some time. She competed at the Toronto Pro back in 2019, and she took third in that show. And that's a show that I remember Margie V won, and Margie V didn't Omaha. Margie should have skipped the Omaha. I mean, you took away an opportunity for somebody to get a straight shot to the Rising Phoenix, but that's how it is. And she looks pretty impressive. I mean, great physique. It's all depending on how she's going to look this year. She has not competed for almost 2 years since her last competition. There's some debate about her. I mean, I was talking with somebody, I'm not going to say no names, but there's some debate about her, her look. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave it at that. And hey there, that's my friend Taylor Hugh. Like I said, I told you, she was at the Toronto Pro Show. Tennis lovey, But, this is the last time she competed, back in 2019. Now, we have here, is most notable face, is Margita Samalova. And she took second at the Puerto Rico Pro. And she won the Europa show. We gave her a shot at the Olympia, and I think this is a show. And I don't know, you can think, you kind of wonder how she can do the Puerto Rico and do the show here in Portugal. And I think there's some protocols with the Bahamas, and also some protocols with Spain. As you know, I remember certain bodybuilders like Man Moon and Baba Majan. They did their quarantine in Mexico. So they were able to compete at the Olympia. And I think she might have done a quarantine in the Bahamas, because I think some parts of Bahamas is still European territory. I think some parts of Bahamas are British territory. And I think a lot of competitors can go between certain countries, especially in Europe. America, our restrictions are really tough. Philippines is just about as bad. Now, if Margita can come in with a better condition like she did for the last time, she's going to do the female physique at the Puerto Rico, but she switched over, in the last minute. But if she comes in better condition, like I said, there could be a battle for her second or third place, depending on how well Anastasia and Chris are going to look. So, and like I said, I often try to give some attention to female physique, but the thing is, it's not a lot of people I know. Most is generally a lot of foreign. Well, there's you got Portugal, Brazil, Spain, Denmark, Poland, Brazil, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, Portugal, Brazil. A lot of Brazilians, and Brazil is a great put some great bodybuilders, and Spain is really doing it because Spain's not that far from Portugal. But one lady I will talk about here is Laura Pantano. If I got a name right, I'm sorry, I'm going to say Laura, and she competed at the physique Miss International, the physique Miss Olympia last year, and I think she got 11 or 12. No, I think she got 12. She didn't do too good at the show, and she was saying she was going to switch over to women's bodybuilding, but the head judge said, "Don't do it. Stick with physique." And I don't know, but maybe some things she might need critique. One thing like that, her shoulder right there looks a little high. She might need to get that checked out. Maybe see a specialist about that. But she has somewhat size. She has broad shoulders. And I think if she puts on a little bit more size in the quads, a little bit more of the, she could be a physique competitor. We see if she don't do too well this show, especially with how many competitors at this show, she's going to switch over next year. And I think she has the muscle development for a female bodybuilder. And she has the look. And there's, like I said, some great female bodybuilders that come out of Spain. And she could be one of them. Now, another lady I became a fast fan of is one who's just Elisa, and she's from Brazil, and she is wow. Look at her. And I think she looks like a true female bodybuilder. Look at her quads. Look at her legs. I know she's competing as a physique competitor. She took third at the Puerto Rico Pro, but she looks closer to a female bodybuilder. I mean, especially if you look at someone like Michaela Aycock or also Alicia Kissen. She's in between them in a way, or more like Michaela's in the middle, and Alicia's on the other side, and this is her at the end. And she has a look to her, very attractive, very great muscle development. Look, she has that V-taper look. I'm telling you, if she don't do this good at the show, if she don't win the show or even place in the top 3 or top 5, she should switch over to bodybuilding. They will love over there. She would get the push. She would probably get more opportunities. I would tell her this: if I don't speak Brazilian, I wish I could. I wish I would. I'd love to do an interview with her. I would love to reach out to her if I could. And if I knew Brazil, some Portuguese or something like that, I would love to talk to her. And I would say, if you're going to switch over to bodybuilding, put your application in for the Women's Strength Ambassador Program. And they're more likely they'll snatch you up because you are attractive. You have great muscle development. I was watching a video with Lena Popa, where she was talking about her, and she was very fond of her. And I think she can have future in bodybuilding if she switches over. She has a look to her, petite, small, great muscle. I mean, they're pushing for girls like these in women's bodybuilding. Now, one division I'm starting to kind of slowly get some pay attention to, and I'm not so much, is pro figure. And that's kind of like a mix of, pro figure is the offshoot of fitness. It was women who get tired of the chicken sweat and doing all the jumping around and said, I just want to wear my high heels. And that's what was created for. And some of those women, some women should think about going on with the physique. Like people like Sydney Gillen. I remember Mark Max Muscle did a video. We compared Cindy Gillen to Shanique Grant. And Shanique Grant used to be a physique competitor at one point in her career, and there's not much difference from them. The poses are about different. But this is one lady by the name of Amanda. I think it was I'm not saying her name. She's from Sweden, and she is impressive. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, I know she's doing figure, but she could be physique. I mean, she's a big Swede. I mean, like Irene Anderson, she's a big Swede. And I think she could be, if you think about it, she could be a physique competitor. I mean, I know when I'm talking with some other ladies on social media, they're trying to push back the classic physique look of Donalyn Bailey. And Donalyn Bailey, I saw a video of her. She was doing a challenge. Donalyn looked like she could come back if she wanted to. I mean, I know she's been out like at least 6 or 7 years, but I was out just about that long. I think Iris came back in 2002. Her last competition was 1996. That's about 6 years. Donalyn might would come back and compete. And this young lady, she's impressive. I mean, look at her. And I think she should, kick off the high heels and switch to physique. I mean, she might need to take the next year off and develop her size a little bit. But, her condition looks amazing to me. I'm just, like I said, I'm not a judge. I'm saying it like that. I'm a fan of women with muscle, a fan of female bodybuilders. And I see some women who have the qualities for a certain division. And, some of them don't listen to the judge. I think this is what she should do. After the show, if she don't place too good, get a critique from the judges. That's what often ladies would do, get a critique from the judges. And if the judge tell you might need to switch to physique, then go ahead and do it. Or talk over with your coach or whatever, how you feel like it. But you could be a physique competitor. You just need to put on a little size. You're not that far from like somebody like Cindy Gillen, or not that far from like somebody like Rachel Daniels or Olivia Bay Young. But she's impressive. And I'm saying like some women who were doing figure, like Talia Chartrand, who won the Puerto Rico Pro. She was a figure competitor and she switched to physique. My dear friend Brittany Brooks, she was a figure competitor. She reached physique. More Miss Elizabeth Curtis, who I did an interview with. She's still an amateur, but she's doing both physique and figure. And I think from her picture I'm looking at, I think she might switch and just do physique from now on. Maybe we'll just stick with figure, depending on how she's feeling. So anyway, that's the list for the Mr. Big Evolution Pro, aka the Puerto Rico Pro. The Portugal Pro, sorry. And it's going to be July 21st, July the 18th. These are the prices for the, I think the prize money. Now they're going to be doing a streaming. I just got my man Jared sent me the link for streaming. I'm going to put it into the link in the description. Their numbers, they go by euros. But then if you calculate it and figure it out, the price of it by American dollars. I don't have a calculator thing on me to calculate the price between euros and America, but hey, you can do it yourself. We got your opportunity. Check out this show. Support our Iron Sisters across the water, because they need a lot more attention, because they have not been, a lot of them have not been able to compete here in America. And, and this is, I remember the movie Pretty Woman. If any of y'all remember Pretty Woman, I know y'all used to watch it with your mom and sister because they made you watch it. There's that part at the end when the guy says, it's Hollywood. Everybody want to come here. That's what like America is. It's Hollywood. Everybody want to come here. They want to come here and do the shows because there's more shows here. And this also wants to Wing Strength. Wing Strength need to put on 2 more shows overseas. Do a show in South Pacific. Like my dear lady I done with a video with Kristen Lay. She's in Australia, and that'd be easy for her. If you bring a bodybuilding show to the South Pacific, bodybuilding, and physique will follow. And I have an opportunity for her to maybe even, rub elbows, and even get an opportunity if she gets prize money, she can compete here in the United States once the pandemic settled. And also another lady I follow, one Miss Abby Jimenez, and Abby looks like she could be doing bodybuilding. But like I said, the Philippines, their restrictions are going to be very strict because they are under a dictator. But like I said, another show you can do is a show somewhere around England. England is, that's one of our, once the enemy, also an ally. England would be a great place to do a show because a lot of competitors who can't come to the United States, or who, you can put it right there in England. That's a good place for them. Do a show. You can really bring more attention to bodybuilders in that part of the world that don't get attention they need. And that's what you should do. 2 more shows around England and the South Pacific would have really helped out the sport of bodybuilding. Anyway, the show's going to be set again. It's going to be on July the 18th. Check it out. If you get the time, get the money, watch both the shows, support women bodybuilding, support these ladies. They put in a lot of work, do stuff for a passion. They don't get paid as much as you should. Prize money can be a little bit, daunting, but they try to make the money in the back end. I know a lot of ladies do photo and video sessions at the end, try to make some side cash. So anyway, it's me all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.